All right, so we're diving into the story of Kate Broddick today.
Oh yeah, this should be fun.
We've got articles, websites, even some social media posts.
Sounds like we've got all our bases covered.
From what I've seen, she's quite the real estate powerhouse.
Yeah, you want to know how she went from dental hygienist to top realtor? We're going to find out.
Exactly, and we'll go beyond that too.
Looking at how she built her company, how she uses marketing.
How she's built her whole online presence, all of it.
So this is basically your cheat sheet to understanding Kate Broddick.
Yep, so let's jump right in. Okay, first things first.
Let's talk about that career 180.
From teeth to houses. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
Right, but it also kind of makes sense in a way.
How so?
Well, think about it. Both those jobs are all about working closely with people.
Yeah, understanding their needs, making them feel comfortable.
Exactly. Those are core skills no matter what field you're in.
So she was able to transfer those skills to real estate.
It seems like it, and she took to it quickly. Moved to Brantford not knowing anyone and became the #1 realtor there.
Consecutively since 2015.
Yeah.
That's crazy impressive.
That's not just luck. There's something more there.
Skill for sure, but what else?
Well, one article I read called her a trendsetter.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it fits right. She didn't just follow the usual path. She did things her own way.
She didn't just play the game, she changed it.
Totally. There's this great quote I found. It says,
Mhm.
she went from GPSing around town to leading the market.
Uh-huh. I love that visual.
Right. Like she went from being totally lost to knowing the place inside and out.
And owning it totally, yeah.
She really took ownership of her success, and part of that was building a brand.
Right. Not just selling houses, but building something bigger.
Exactly, and that's when she formed the Kate Broddick team.
A lot of agents form teams, though.
True, but her approach seems different.
That makes it stand out.
Well, I was reading this profile on her, and she basically realized she couldn't do everything herself.
Too many leads. Not enough time.
Yeah, and she didn't want to sacrifice that personal connection with clients.
Which makes sense. She's all about those relationships.
So she built a team of like-minded realtors to help her out.
And they have a whole staff to handle all the other stuff, too.
Exactly, so she can focus on what she does best.
Working with people, finding them the perfect home,
It's like that same level of care she gave as a dental hygienist.
but multiplied.
Yeah.
Applied to a whole team and a whole lot of clients.
And you know what else is interesting?
What's that?
Their website, it really emphasizes that family-first approach.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that, too.
They talk about things like suggesting a quieter street for a family with young kids, going beyond just finding a house that checks the boxes.
It's more about finding the right fit, the right lifestyle.
Exactly. They're not just selling a house, they're selling an experience.
I can see how that would appeal to people, especially in a place like Brantford.
Definitely. They're tapping into those deeper desires people have when looking for a home.
That sense of community, of belonging.
Yeah. And they're very intentional about it. There's this quote I found from a magazine article.
Oh, yeah. What does it say?
We're selling clients not just a home, but a lifestyle. We want people to connect with us on a personal level. We keep it intimate.
Wow, that's powerful.
Right. It really highlights how much they value those personal connections.
And it's not just in their client interactions, it extends to their marketing, too.
Oh, absolutely. Those videos on their website are a great example.
The ones where the team members talk about their lives outside of work.
Yeah, they're so relatable. It makes them seem more human.
Less like real estate agents and more like people you'd actually want to hang out with.
Exactly. And that builds trust. Real estate is a huge decision.
You want to feel like you know and trust the person helping you make it.
These videos help break down that barrier between agent and client.
It feels more like working with a friend, someone you can trust.
And speaking of friends, we have to talk about Scott McGillivray.
Oh, yeah, she's one of his McGillivray trusted agents.
Well, that's a big deal, especially for someone who was relatively new to the industry at the time.
Imagine you're a buyer flipping through channels and you see Kate on TV with Scott McGillivray,
Boom. Instant credibility.
especially if you're a fan of his shows.
Exactly. It's like a seal of approval from a trusted expert.
And they didn't just stop at the endorsement either.
What do you mean?
This article I read mentioned that she has commercials with McGillivray playing at the local Cineplex.
Wow. Talk about reaching your target audience.
You're literally sitting there thinking about buying a house and bam, there's Kate.
It's such a smart strategy, combining that national recognition with a hyper-local approach.
And it all plays into her overall brand, building trust and familiarity.
So we've seen how she built her business and her team, but now let's dive into her marketing and social media game.
Because that's where things get really interesting.
Oh yeah, buckle up. So social media.
Oh yeah, her social media game is strong.
Seriously, she's got that whole professional, personal balance down pat.
which is not easy, let me tell you.
It's a tricky one for sure.
I was looking at her LinkedIn, and it's like a master class in how to use the platform for real estate.
What kind of stuff does she post?
Lots of property highlights. You know, those beautiful photos of
Of
listings.
course, got to show off those houses.
But she also mixes in personal updates, stuff about community events, even motivational quotes.
So she's not just selling houses, she's selling a lifestyle.
Exactly, and people buy into that.
They want to see the person behind the brand.
Yeah, they want to connect with someone real, someone authentic.
And that's what she does so well.
She comes across as a member of the community, a mom, someone who genuinely loves Brantford.
Not just some agent trying to make a quick buck.
And it's not just talking. I remember her website talks about helping families make the best decisions.
Right. Finding the right home for their needs.
Well, she does that online too, sharing tips for families, advice on schools, that kind of thing.
It's all connected, that family-first approach.
And it's smart. She's tapping into a huge market.
Families moving to Brantford, they need that local expertise.
And Kate's giving it to them, both on her website and on social media,
It's like she's created this whole ecosystem of resources.
making her the go-to expert for anyone looking to buy or sell in Brantford.
Exactly. She's thought of everything.
And it's not just LinkedIn either. Her Instagram is super active too.
Oh, yeah, at agent.kate, right.
That's the one. She's got those gorgeous property tours,
Of course, got to have those.
but also those behind-the-scenes glimpses of her life, family dinners, community events,
Yeah.
keeping it real.
It humanizes her, makes her more relatable.
Like we were saying about those videos on our website, it's all part of the same strategy.
Showing people that she's not just about closing deals, she's about building relationships.
Living that Brantford life alongside her clients.
And then there's her podcast.
In the vault.
So many realtors have podcasts these days.
It's true, but hers is different.
What makes it stand out?
She's not just talking about market trends. She's interviewing other successful people in real estate.
Oh, wow, like who?
Scott Benson, Dave McKinnon, even Joshua Wall.
Those are some big names.
I know, right? It's a brilliant move.
How so?
She's positioning herself as a thought leader, someone who's always learning and growing.
And by talking to these high-profile guests, she's elevating her own brand, too.
Associating herself with success.
It's like she's creating this network of expertise, this community of top performers.
And it all ties back to her own journey, right?
From knowing no one in Brantford to becoming a central figure in the real estate scene.
It's pretty inspiring when you think about it.
It is, and she's sharing that journey through her podcast.
Those lessons she's learned along the way.
She's not just telling people how to succeed, she's showing them by example.
So we've talked about social media, her podcast. What about her blog?
Oh yeah, I saw that mentioned on her website.
What kind of stuff does she write about?
All sorts of things. How to stage your home for a quick sale, understanding mortgage pre-approval, even the best family-friendly neighborhoods in Brantford.
Practical advice, stuff people actually need to know.
Exactly. She's anticipating those questions people have, even the ones they might not realize they have yet.
And she's answering them in a clear, concise way.
Establishing herself as that trusted advisor.
And she does it all with such a friendly tone, too.
It's not intimidating. It's inviting.
Like you could just pick up the phone and ask her anything.
Exactly. She makes it feel so easy.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Her career, her team, her brand.
Her social media, her podcast, her blog. It's a lot.
And one thing that keeps coming up is that personal touch.
That genuine desire to connect with people.
It's more than just being nice, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's strategic.
In a world where everything is digital, where things can feel so impersonal.
That human element becomes even more valuable.
And Kate gets that she's not just selling houses.
She's selling an experience, a feeling of trust and connection.
Yeah, and that's what sets her apart, I think.
It's smart, right?
It's like she's taken that old school way of doing business, building relationships face to face.
And she's brought it online.
Exactly. It's that personal touch,
Yeah.
but amplified by the power of social media and all these other tools.
She's found a way to make it all work together.
It's a winning formula for sure.
And something we can all learn from, too.
Oh, definitely, no matter what field you're in.
It's about making those genuine connections, providing value to your audience.
Showing up consistently, being authentic.
Those are the things that matter.
So let's bring this back to you, the listener.
Yeah, thinking about your own journey.
You came to this deep dive wanting to know about Kate Broddick.
And how she became so successful.
And we've seen how she did it step by step.
From dental hygienist to real estate superstar.
We've talked about her team, her marketing, her online presence, her commitment to her clients.
It's been quite a ride.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
Kate's story is just one example of what's possible.
When you combine hard work adaptability and a genuine desire to help others.
Those are the key ingredients.
And it's not about copying her exactly.
It's about taking those principles and applying them to your own life.
Finding your own path to success.
So as you continue to explore real estate, or whatever field you're passionate about,
Remember Kate's story.
remember the power of building relationships, of providing value, of making those personal connections.
Because in the end, that's what makes a lasting impact
And that's what makes a successful business.
and a fulfilling life.
Well said. And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Kate Broddick.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you learned a thing or two.
And maybe even got a little bit inspired.
Until next time, keep diving deep.